workshop. Get comfortable, and we are going to start in just under a minute. Hey, hello, everyone. Do drop a GM if you're here with us today. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and excited to be presenting um, to you this workshop. So today we have with us Boris, who is a developer advocate at Footprint. And he is going to walk us through the amazing features that Footprint has developed. And he's going to showcase us how you can start using Footprint for your own analytics purposes. So this workshop is brought to you by Metrics DAO. At Metrics DAO, we are a Web3 analytics community, and we have thousands of analysts in our community that are actively going through our analytics challenges, participating in various courses and workshops just like these that we are running regularly. We also have Analytics 101 and 201 programs that we do. So if you're interested in learning more about the world of Web3 analytics, if you are interested in gaining some experience by participating in our analytics challenges, then do join our community. We have a Discord server, so that would be the best place to learn about what's happening in the community, about the different opportunities, and get involved. Right. So thank you everyone for attending. This is the first workshop of the 2 workshop series that we have with Footprint. So I will give the mic over to Boris, who is going to be telling us about Footprint today.
Right, thanks a lot. So before we get started, I'd like to take a moment to thank Metrics DAO for making this workshop possible. Hope it's going to be very productive, and anticipating to show you some cool analytics feature. So today's workshop is beginner friendly. It's I'm going to be talking about Web3 data analysis for beginners, and let's get started. And wonderful. So the purpose of this workshop is to provide a comprehensive introduction to blockchain data analysis, and we're going to be starting with the fundamentals, and namely the blockchain technology and how exactly data is stored in the blockchain, and then why in some cases raw data, which is stored in the runtime, may not be enough for analysis. We're also going to be taking a closer look to our tool, and going to be starting with the theory part and then moving to the practice part in the form of demo. So let us talk about use cases first. Well, data analysis for a blockchain may have completely different use cases, and you may need it for instance, the investments monitoring and alerts, maybe to predict some of the collapses or track any suspicious transactions before something big was fallen. And for example, you can also be doing some cross-chain analysis. Well, probably again, you may have like many assets, where as a developer of protocol, you For instance, on the EVM side, you may not only have your smart contracts on the single L1, but you can have it deployed on several instances. So yeah, cross-chain analysis is another great use case for analytics in the space. Well, the third is just a top to bottom analysis. So whether you're really starting to be interested in some of the domains of the crypto, like in this example on slides, I'm having a GameFi. So yeah, you're going to be starting with the analysis of whole market and looking at the macroeconomic indicators, and digging down directly to the single game stats. And yeah, that's about us. And to fully understand the potential of blockchain analysis in these cases, we probably need to have a solid understanding of how blockchains store data. So we're going to be making the examples on EVMs and their architecture. Yeah, because they are, they're famous, and it's their data model is, I would say, like easy to understand. So let us start with raw data itself. So blockchain consists of the blocks. Blocks consist of the transactions. There are some entities in EVM networks that are called logs and traces. Essentially, logs and traces are more like lower level information stored on blockchain that the particular event was emitted. So for instance, if you're developing your own smart contracts, you're probably going to be using a Solidity code to do it. Then yeah, you're going to be able to, of course, put any business logic there, and upon the any function or a method called within the smart contract, you can have an event emitted. So event is just is just a proof that something was happened within the smart contract. You can and basically those are the building blocks. So that's really important to understand that Uniswap or basically any protocol are having the events, and this is a building block of all EVMs. And basically all the stats of not only like the different protocols, but the whole market itself are calculated from the values that are coming from these events. Because again, like smart contracts are the building blocks for the whole EVM, for any EVM blockchain. So and that is if you're open your favorite block explorer, probably the most popular one is FSCAN, you'll be able to see a different info about like EVM smart contracts, which may show you not only the info about the transaction itself, but only logs and traces. And yeah, you may be able to build the analytical insights using just the raw data, but it may not be enough for a comfortable analysis. So one of the key challenges of the blockchain's ecosystem is the heterogeneity of different chains. So each chain has its unique features, data structures, and implementations. So giving a specific examples on NFTs, for instance, EVM compatible chains such as Ethereum have the ERC 721 standard for NFTs. While, for instance, Polkadot or Bitcoin with same ordinals, is having like completely different standards. And despite the diversity, a good analytical tool should allow to seamlessly merge those EVM transactions from this completely different bytes architecture chains into a single entity. In the example of the traditional databases, like table-based databases, those transactions could be merged and stored within a database that is called NFT transactions. So that will not only simplifies the analysis process, because again, you'll only have to query a single table. It also, it will also provide a comprehensive overview of NFT market across different chains. So, taking that in mind, we've built Footprint. In this chapter, I'm going to be taking a closer look at our product. I'm going to be starting with the data model to its advanced features, and gonna be doing a quick demo of the some features later. So let us start with the our data model. It's based on the medallion architecture, and it organizes and structures our data into more meaningful and usable form. So we're building basically on top of the logs and traces, as well as the transactions. So finally, by doing those abstractions, we are making the analysis simpler. And we split data into 3 layers: bronze, silver, and gold. Bronze layer is where we store raw and transform data straight from blockchains, again, such as logs and traces. The silver layer takes the bronze data and transform it into a set of data with additional values. So for instance, if we're seeing that a transaction is associated with a smart contracts, which is off ERC 721 standard, then we're considering it as an NFT transaction, and we're having a dedicated table where you'll be able to query and find this transaction. And then the gold layer, that's the final layer in our architecture, and it consists mostly of business level data aggregations. So the goal of this layer is to, directly answer domain specific questions and provide like ready to use statistical metrics for analysis. For the case of NFTs, it could be the floor price. For the case of like any protocol, it could be the number of unique or active users per last week, for instance. So basically metrics for different scenarios. All right, so now let's talk about the things that Footprint has already achieved. Doing a quick rundown of what our tool offer, we already covered more than 20 chains, namely 24, including big players such as Ethereum, Binance, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, more. We also covered 700,000 NFT collections, and keeping track of several thousands of GameFi protocols. And the best part is that, and probably is a killer feature of our tool, is that we provide a balance between flexibility and simplicity, making it super user friendly. For even you blockchain analysis enthusiasts. So this is a comparison, and this is a visual comparison between our tool and other famous tools that are mostly SQL based. So with a simple to use drag and drop interface, you can basically build any chart. We actually support like more than 30 types of charts, including the graph chart. different combo charts, as well as linear graphs, as well as like simple tables, calendars, the pie charts, the trends, and yeah, and even dynamic and advanced charts that are using like the combination of different charts. So I think yeah, that's the part about the that was a theoretical part about our tool. Before I move to the demo, do we have any questions that I can yeah, answer so far?
Also, if some questions pop up during the demo, do drop them in the chat, and Boris will come back to these questions afterwards. So yeah, if you have any questions, this is the perfect time to ask them.
All right, if no questions, I'm gonna be proceeding to the demo. So you can access our analytics web application by a footprint.network domain. Then you'll have to sign up, and I'm not going to be going through this process, but it's very simple. So once you've done it, you're basically able to start building the charts and dashboards. So in order to start the creation of the charts, you may have basically two options. So you can either choose a simple drag and drop interface, or you can use SQL query. So, and basically a drag and drop interface is an abstraction over SQL. So at the end of the hood, you're still going to be having SQL, which is just generated from this constructor. But for simplicity's sake, let us just work with the no code for this workshop. So once you got the this page loaded, on the left hand side you'll be able to see the tables that we support, and their names are pretty self-explanatory. As you can see in the Ethereum decoded events table, we got the table, we got data that's parsed from logs and is readable from smart contracts. For the Ethereum transactions, we store the Ethereum transactions. But yeah, I'm going to be picking a NFT transactions table because I've been talking about NFTs during the previous part of this workshop. So I'm going to be using it. And yeah, this table contains the information of NFT sales transactions. And for now, it includes several chains. And if you select this table, you're gonna be having the data previewed. And it's here random, but as you can see, this table indicates the name of the chain where this particular NFT transaction took place, as well as some different info. And let us think of a good use case, what we're trying to build. Let us try to calculate the amount of NFT transactions within past 7 days and group the results by the chain. And yeah, and let's build a time series graph on top of this aggregated data. So once you press an advanced tab, by the way, a quick tip: pressing advanced tab is a By pressing a advanced tab, you'll be receiving a view that is all-in-one table creation dashboard, query creation dashboard. And it's not that advanced, to be honest. And this name is, really confusing sometimes, but there's nothing advanced about building the query from this view. So once I've pressed it, I can start building. And so first of all, I'll be applying a filter so that only the transactions from past 7 days are taking into the calculation. So once I got them filtered out, I'll be, I wanted to calculate how many of them were done within past 7 days. I press a count, and then I want to be doing a grouping, and I'm going to be grouping by a chain. So when I select, finally, I'll be. Actually, yeah. I also will be doing another aggregation by day, and once I have it done, I'll be receiving a aggregation, and gonna be sorting all the results by the block timestamp, by the day of the block timestamp, to be precise. So I'll end up having a graph chart automatically generated, but not sure that this is a best graph for our case. So let me pick another one. Probably gonna take bar chart looks better. So we can also stack. So here it is. We can see the amount of NFT transactions grouped by chains. If you hover over one of the fragments, you'll be able to see with which chain exactly this data is associated with. On the bottom, you'll be able to see the days. Right. So that's one of the that is the drag and drop interface, and as you can probably understand, you can build it. You could have built this chart in minutes, and the the presence of this no-code construction may significantly increase the speed of analysis. So maybe any questions for now about anything that I've shown now? All right. So there is another thing that I wanted to show, and those are our docs. So if you're interested to know more about our data design, or if you're having any issues when you're working with our platform, then you will find all the comprehensive guides and instructions here. So not only we're building the analytics application, but we're also offering the API services, and we're trying to follow the ecosystem approach when building those two products, because what I mean by that. So as I said, every chart is just a table, a visualized table. And in order to get this table, you have to use SQL. So SQL is just a query language. And when I was building a chart in the NoSQL mode, I was automatically generating a relevant SQL for it. So for this chart, that I've just built, the SQL code is following. So we're selecting some data from a certain table. We're applying some filters. In SQL, it's done under the where operator. Then we're grouping by certain attributes, and finally we're ordering the data. And you can copy this SQL code and reuse it within our API. We have a dedicated endpoint on the SQL API. So what it basically means, it means that as a, for instance, software developer, or or if you're building a data intensive project, which is relying heavily on the historical data, you're first able to build a chart in the web app, validate that it's outputting you a correct data, and consequently, be sure that the same result is going to be returning to you within the API, but not, of course, in the form of the visualization, but in the form of the JSON hierarchy. Right. So, are we having any questions? Mhm. I think we're not interacting with SQL query here. We're just creating graphics by choosing from the database. The option to view the SQL queries on the graphs on the dashboard. Yeah, I think I've just shown it. Maybe, is there anything specific that I may show you, Sonia?
Okay, so so Sonil, Boris asked if there's something specific that to be shown. And yeah, in the meantime, if anyone else has any questions, do drop in the chat, and Boris will very happily answer them. So it's a great time for you to really pick his brain and understand everything that you would like to learn about footprint. And in the meantime as well, Boris, if are there any links that you would recommend for people to go to actually learn more about footprint, or to maybe get connected with the community in the case maybe they have some further questions after this session?
Certainly, yeah. I'm having them previewed in the on the slides. So the majority of our community is in Discord, and that's the place where we're doing this support for the for any questions, or they may imply not only the product support, but just anything that's related to analytics. And you can probably, Discord is the best place to start. You can scan the QR code and you'll eventually end up there. And in Discord, we're referencing our like different sources of information, such as the docs that I've shown you, or GitHub in some specific examples. So yeah.
That's awesome. So do ensure to join Footprint's Discord. Follow them on Twitter, and the links are displayed here in the slide. And this is the first workshop of the two-part series. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to be sharing with you a link. And using this link, you can sign up to the second workshop. So ensure to sign up so you don't miss it. We are going to go even more in depth and learn even more about footprint. Boris, is there already something you can tell about what's going to happen in the second workshop?
Yeah, I think we're going to be covering more advanced topics such as the intermediate tables, which are, just a is just a tool that is allowing you to do a more in-depth analysis, and we're also going to be doing a demo. Yeah, and then much more. Yeah, haven't decided on the outline yet.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So doing sure to join this workshop. And if there are no more questions, then I guess we can finish for today. So thank you everyone for joining. And before we close, is there anything else Boris would like to mention? Any last words?
No, for now, thanks a lot for this workshop. It was awesome. And yeah, hope to see you on the next one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Boris, for showcasing us this wonderful tool called Footprint Analytics. I'm sure people learned a lot. So thank you everyone for attending. Do ensure to sign up to the second workshop and we'll see you later. Bye bye.
Thank you.